So I want you to imagine standing at the edge of a really wide, quiet lake on a beautiful morning.
Oh, that sounds really nice.
Right. The air is just perfectly still. The water is, not moving at all. It's like a smooth, flawless mirror reflecting the sky.
Sounds incredibly peaceful.
It is. You take a deep breath and you just feel completely at peace. But then, in the blink of an eye, that quiet lake just vanishes.
Oh, no. Back to reality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Suddenly, you are sitting in your car. Traffic is terrible. You are running late for a super important meeting.
Oh, I hate that feeling.
Yeah, and the driver next to you is yelling. Horns are honking loudly everywhere. And, well, that peaceful feeling is just entirely gone.
Replaced by, like, a tight chest and panic, right?
Exactly. Today, we are looking at how to get that quiet lake feeling back. So welcome to our deep dive.
It's great to be here.
Today, we are exploring a really fascinating lesson from Tim's English channel. And since this is for English learners, we are making sure this deep dive is a safe, easy place to learn. We're keeping the vocabulary clear and the sentence structures pretty straightforward.
Which is perfect because the concepts we are tackling are, they're actually really deep, even with simple words.
Yeah, they really are. Because we are not just talking about calmness as like a nice, relaxed feeling. We are looking at it as an active, secret superpower.
I love that phrase, secret superpower. This is a brilliant concept to explore.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think most of us view being calm as a passive thing. We just think of it as the absence of noise, or maybe that heavy feeling you get right before you fall asleep.
Right, like you're just doing nothing.
Exactly. But the lesson we are looking at today from Tim's English channel, it frames calmness as a tool. Like it is something you use deliberately to learn better, to communicate with total confidence, and to basically stay in control of your own life.
Especially when the world around you is just completely chaotic.
Yes, exactly.
And it's just, it's so incredibly easy to let that chaos inside, isn't it? If the world is loud, our first instinct is to become loud, too.
Oh, absolutely. It's human nature.
If someone is aggressive, we get angry. But this is where I find the normal societal view really interesting and honestly a bit wrong.
How so?
Well, we are often taught that loud people are the strong ones. Like, the instinct is that if you are in an argument, the person who shouts the loudest is the one winning.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, it looks like strength to a lot of people.
It definitely creates the illusion of strength, yeah.
Yeah.
But what Tim's channel argues completely goes against that idea.
Right.
They say that staying calm is your true secret strength. Because, think about the psychology of someone who is yelling in traffic or shouting in an argument. What is really happening to them?
I suppose they are just reacting, right? They're just acting totally on impulse.
Exactly. They have basically given up their control. They have let the bad traffic or maybe a rude comment just completely take over their brain.
Wow. Yeah. So the bad moment outside is controlling how they feel inside.
Right. But when you stay calm in that exact same noisy situation, you keep your power. You are controlling yourself.
That completely flips the power dynamic.
It really does.
It means the person yelling at you is actually the one who has lost all their power. They are just at the mercy of the situation.
Meanwhile, the quiet person might look passive, but they are the ones actually holding their ground.
Right. So strength isn't about how loud your voice is. It is about whether you are the boss of your own mind.
It is an active choice. And honestly, it takes a lot of internal strength to look at a crazy situation and decide, I will not let this change how I feel inside.
You are building a wall between the noise outside and your peace inside.
Beautifully said, yes.
So if staying calm is basically about keeping control, let's look at the physical reality of what happens when we lose that control.
Okay, let's get into it.
The lesson specifically applies this to doing something really hard, like trying to speak a new language.
Oh, yes. The ultimate test.
Yeah. I think anyone who has ever tried to speak English in front of native speakers knows exactly the kind of terror we are talking about.
It is a universal experience for anyone learning a language. Speaking a new language makes you feel really vulnerable.
You feel totally exposed.
Yeah. You are searching for the right vocabulary, you're worried about your accent, and you just want to be understood.
It's naturally a high-stress environment.
Very high stress. And when you inevitably hit a wall, like maybe you just forget a simple word, the physical reaction is immediate.
Oh, the physical symptoms are overwhelming. Your heart starts beating so fast.
Your face gets super hot.
Yes. A huge wave of nervousness hits you. And then comes the absolute worst part.
The brain freeze.
Yes.
Yes.
Your brain simply stops working. You forget words you knew perfectly 5 minutes ago, and your only instinct is to just run away.
What you're describing is the classic fight or flight response.
Fight or flight, right?
Yeah, your body's alarm system has basically been tripped. When your heart rate goes up and you feel that nervous energy, your brain actually thinks you are in physical danger.
Like a wild animal is attacking you or something.
Exactly. Your brain does not know the difference between being chased by a bear and forgetting a verb in a business meeting.
That is wild.
So it stops giving energy to the parts of your brain that remember complex language. It focuses purely on survival.
I have always thought about this using like a computer analogy.
Oh, I love analogies. Let's hear it.
It feels exactly like when you are working on a computer and you try to open way too many heavy programs at the same time.
Oh, yeah. The computer hates that.
Right. The processor gets completely overloaded. Suddenly the screen freezes. You get that little spinning wheel.
The wheel of doom.
Yes. And what is our natural human instinct when the computer freezes? We panic and we start clicking the mouse 100 times as fast as we can.
Which is literally the absolute worst thing you can do.
Exactly. Clicking the mouse over and over does not unfreeze the computer. It actually sends more commands to a processor that is already overwhelmed.
Which just makes it stay frozen longer.
Yes. So when we get nervous speaking English and our brain freezes, panicking and trying to force the words out is like aggressively clicking that mouse. It just makes the freeze worse.
That is such a great way to visualize it.
Yeah.
And it perfectly explains why the lesson's remedy for this brain freeze is so effective.
Because it tells you to just stop, right?
Exactly. The lesson suggests that instead of panicking, instead of clicking the mouse, you just need to stop. Do absolutely nothing for a second.
Just stop the inputs entirely.
Stop, take a breath, smile, and use a really simple phrase. Like, give me a second, please.
Give me a second, please. I mean, it is such a brilliant little tool.
It really is.
It is polite, it sounds incredibly natural to a native English speaker, and most importantly, it buys you processing time.
And if you look at what's happening inside your body with that simple phrase, it's amazing.
What happens?
Well, by physically stopping and deliberately taking a breath, you are sending a biological signal to your nervous system. You're basically saying, I am safe. There is no wild animal.
Oh, wow. So you manually turn off the fight or flight response?
Precisely. And as your body goes back to a relaxed state, the blood flow returns to the language centers of your brain. The missing English word just naturally floats back to your mind.
Because the computer finally had a moment to process the commands.
Exactly.
It is amazing how much of our memory and mental capability is tied directly to our physical state of relaxation.
It truly is. And there is a beautiful, encouraging message here for anyone listening who is learning English.
What's that?
It proves that you do not need to be perfect to look confident. True confidence isn't about never making mistakes.
Right. Everybody makes mistakes.
People will actually think you are highly confident because you are comfortable enough to take a breath and pause, rather than just rushing out of panic.
That is a very reassuring standard. The goal is not perfection. The goal is just staying calm. But of course, knowing logically that we should stay calm is the easy part.
Oh, for sure.
Actually doing it when your heart is racing in real life,
Yeah.
that is incredibly difficult. We need a really solid strategy to reboot the system.
We definitely do, because this means changing our default habits. Luckily, the material from Tim's channel gives a very clear, easy, three-step toolkit for this.
Awesome. Let's break it down.
And they rightly remind us that this takes practice. You will probably not be perfect at it the first time you try.
So let's explore how we actually use this toolkit in real life. Step 1 is simply breathe,
Just breathe.
taking a deep, slow breath in and letting it out. I imagine breathing is always the very first step because of how physically tight we get, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Like when someone cuts me off in traffic or I am asked a tough question, I can literally feel my jaw lock up and my shoulders rise up to my ears.
Right, your body is bracing for impact.
Does taking a breath force those muscles to reset?
It does exactly that. When you feel a sudden surge of stress or anger, your muscles tighten involuntarily. If you do not fix that physical tension, your brain just stays on high alert.
Wow. Okay.
So a deep, controlled breath physically forces those tight muscles to relax. It acts as a physical reset switch for your whole body. You literally cannot think clearly until those physical alarm bells are turned off.
Which perfectly sets up step number 2, and I think this is the most profound part of the toolkit. Pause.
The magical pause.
Yeah, the advice is to stop for a short time before answering. If a colleague makes a rude remark or you forget a word, you do not respond immediately. You wait 3 seconds.
Just count to three.
Tim's channel describes this tiny 3-second delay as magic. But why is such a microscopic amount of time so powerful?
Because of how it bridges the gap between your emotion and your logic.
Okay, tell me more.
When something bad happens, your very first instinct is always emotional. It is a reflex to defend yourself, usually by lashing out or yelling back. That emotional reaction travels much, much faster in your brain than your logical thoughts do. So by forcing a 3-second delay, you give your rational brain the time it needs to catch up.
Oh, I see. You are intentionally creating a gap so you can actually think.
Precisely. In those 3 seconds, your brain can ask a super important question. Do I actually need to be angry right now? Is shouting back going to make this better?
And almost every single time, the logical answer is no. Shouting back never improves the situation.
Never.
So just forcing that tiny gap is the difference between letting a bad situation control you and you taking control. You basically break the circuit of automatic anger.
You break the circuit.
Yeah.
And once you have broken it, you can move to step number 3, let it go.
Acceptance. Because, I mean, we can breathe and pause all we want, but if we just sit there quietly boiling with anger, we haven't really solved anything.
No, you haven't. Letting it go means recognizing what you can and cannot control. The lesson reminds us of a hard truth.
Yeah.
People are going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Traffic is going to be bad sometimes. People will be rude to you. And yes, you will forget English vocabulary words. You cannot control the outside world.
You can only control your reaction to it.
Exactly.
Like holding on to anger about a traffic jam is just pointless. The traffic does not care that you are angry. You are only punishing yourself.
Right. Holding on to that anger just raises your blood pressure and ruins your day. So the final step is learning to mentally say, it is okay, and just choosing to move forward.
And you know, once you master this internal routine breathing to reset the body, pausing to engage the mind, and letting go to release the tension, it causes a fascinating change in your external life too.
Oh, totally.
The way other people interact with you completely changes. Let's look at the power dynamics of a quiet reaction.
This is where that idea of the secret strength becomes really visible in real life. Think about people who try to start arguments. People who want to make you angry are almost always looking for a specific payoff.
They are looking for drama. They want you to get upset. They want you to yell back because it makes their own anger feel justified. It is like a chaotic game to them.
Exactly. They are trying to pull you into their storm. But when you use your toolkit, when you take a breath, pause, and just look at them calmly, it completely ruins their plan.
You deny them the drama.
Yes. The lesson suggests offering a really simple, calm boundary. Something like just looking at them and saying, I am not going to fight with you.
I am not going to fight with you. Wow, that is so disarming. It completely takes the wind out of their sails. You are just refusing to play their game.
And think about the long-term results of that choice. By choosing peace in that hot moment, you keep your dignity. You save your energy.
Because if you had chosen to scream back, what would the rest of your day look like?
It would be ruined.
Totally ruined. You would be replaying the argument in your head for hours.
Oh, we've all been there.
You'd be lying in bed staring at the ceiling thinking, why did I say that? I should have said this instead. It's exhausting.
It is exhausting. But by remaining calm, you go to sleep feeling happy. You can look back on the day and think, I handled that really well.
Yeah.
You protected your own peace of mind.
I do want to ask a question about this, though, just to make sure we are painting a realistic picture.
Sure, go ahead.
Does this mean we should try to become emotionless robots? Like, if someone insults me, or if I fail an English exam, it is going to hurt. Are we supposed to just pretend we feel nothing?
That is such a vital question, and the lesson uses a truly brilliant analogy to answer it. The goal is absolutely not to become a robot. Being calm does not mean you delete your emotions.
Okay, good. Because suppressing emotions usually just makes them explode later anyway.
Exactly. You are human, you will still feel sad, and you will still feel angry. So the goal isn't to hide them, but to manage them.
How does the analogy explain it?
Well, imagine your mind as a car. Your emotions, your anger, your fear, your sadness, they are passengers in that car.
Okay, passenger.
They are allowed to be in the car with you. But under no circumstances are they allowed to sit in the driver's seat.
I think that is a fantastic visual. So the anger is there. It is sitting in the passenger seat, maybe even complaining loudly about the traffic, but it does not get to touch the steering wheel.
You remain the driver. You can say, I recognize that I am feeling angry right now. But you, the logical, calm part of your brain, you decide where the car actually goes.
That is the essence of true emotional regulation. You feel the feeling, but you don't let it drive the car.
Exactly.
Now, to help internalize this whole mindset, Tim's channel presents a specific list of English vocabulary words. And rather than just giving dictionary definitions, I think we should look at how these words tell a story.
I agree. The vocabulary they focus on forms a very logical path from feeling chaotic to feeling stable.
What are the words?
The sequence is nervous, breathe, pause, control, calm, and confident.
Let's use a realistic scenario for our listeners to see how these words work together. Let's say you are at the airport in a foreign country.
Okay, very stressful.
You step up to the immigration counter, and the officer asks you a fast question in English that you do not immediately understand. The very first word you experience is nervous.
Right. The fight or flight system kicks in. Your chest gets tight.
But because you understand the toolkit, you do not let that nervous feeling drive the car. You take action. The first step is to breathe.
You consciously relax your physical body to tell your brain you are safe.
Immediately followed by a pause. You give yourself those 3 magic seconds. You don't try to instantly babble an answer. You let your logical brain catch up.
And those two simple actions, the breath and the pause, they serve as a bridge. They carry you away from being nervous directly into a state of control.
Control. Because you realize the officer's question is not a physical threat.
Right, you are directing your own response.
And once you establish that control, you arrive back at our main word, calm. You have returned to the quiet link. Your mind is clear. The English words come back to you, and you are ready to speak.
Which leads to the final, best word of all, confident. Because you handled a stressful situation so well, you build genuine confidence.
You realize you can survive difficult moments even in a second language.
Exactly. It's a remarkable progression. Feeling nervous leads to a breathe and a pause, which gives you control, making you calm, and ultimately making you confident.
It is a roadmap for navigating any high-pressure situation, and it really reinforces a central theme of everything we have discussed today. Learning this skill is a journey.
It is a lifelong practice. Whether you are learning English grammar or learning how to manage your emotions, mistakes are just a normal part of the process.
They are completely normal. You cannot beat yourself up if you lose your temper tomorrow or if you completely forget a word during a conversation.
A mistake is just a step forward in learning. You just try again the next day.
So the practical advice for you this week is to start small. Look for easy opportunities to practice. If you are stuck in a slow line at the grocery store, do not sigh or get mad. Just use it as a moment to practice breathing.
And if you are practicing your English and you hit a wall and forget a word, do not let the computer freeze.
Right, don't panic.
Just pause, offer a warm smile, and calmly say, "Give me a second, please." You will be amazed at how nicely people respond to that.
It is all about taking these small tools and using them every day. That is how the secret strength is built.
Absolutely.
Well, we have covered some incredible ground today, from the quiet lake to fixing the frozen computer of our minds to making sure you are always the one driving the car.
We really have.
But as we wrap up our deep dive into this lesson, we want to leave you with a guiding thought, something for you to think about as you go through your week.
Yes. We have talked a lot about the 3-second pause and how it helps with traffic or forgetting an English word.
Right.
But think about your own daily routine.
Here's the question for you to mull over. What is one specific situation in your life where you usually let your emotions drive the car? And how might using that magical 3-second pause change the entire outcome next time?
It is a really powerful question. Will it save a friendship from a silly argument? Will it help you ace a job interview? It's definitely worth thinking about.
It absolutely is. So keep reflecting, keep practicing your English, and remember that your true strength is found in your calm. Have a great week, everyone.